Rev up your engines. Today I'm going to show you how you can save yourself, your vehicle, and save money all at once. Now this is a CO2 meter. Measures how much carbon dioxide is in the air. We breathe out carbon dioxide, right? And if you're driving in a car, especially something like a pickup truck with a limited size cab, if you drive around with your AC on recirc all the time, that's recirc on, that's off. If the recirc is on, you're going to be breathing that carbon dioxide over and over again. Now that's fine for somebody having a panic attack, right? They get a bag. The carbon dioxide will calm you down. Of course, if you breathe too much of it, you'll fall asleep. What's the last thing you want? Falling asleep while you're driving a car. Because you got too much carbon dioxide in the air that you're breathing because you have it on recirc. It's not a good thing. And just to prove a point, I drove around in this Toyota Tacoma with it on recirc on a trip that was like 40 minutes long, left it on recirc the whole time, and the carbon dioxide level went up to 5,319. Now, as Google says, safe carbon dioxide levels are considered to be below 1,000 parts per million, with levels below 800 being ideal for well-ventilated spaces. Levels between 1,000 and 2,000 indicate poor ventilation, while levels about 2,000 can lead to drowsiness, headaches, and other symptoms. Now, mind you, it's 40,000 parts per million. It's deadly, but as you can see, I'm sitting there with it turned off, open the door, and it's already coming down. Now it's 3,600, but that's still bad. You're going to get drowsy. So watch what happens when we start up the car, take it off of recirc, put it on fresh air, and we'll drive around a little. And we'll also crack the windows a little to get more fresh air in. There we go. Drive around a little, and you can see it starting to drop. After about 4 minutes driving, it's gone down to 574, which is excellent. So the moral of the story is you don't want to be driving around with the windows rolled the whole way up on recirc or any kind of long trip. You're going to get drowsy. Now, of course, this is a relatively new vehicle to Toyota. It's very airtight. I guess that's one advantage of driving a junker. It's full of holes and rusted. The wind's blowing through what? You're not going to get carbon dioxide poisoning. The air's going to be blowing through it the whole time. But let's say you like it really cold, so you put it on recirc. At least crack the windows a little so you're getting some fresh air coming in. Right? Or better still, most cars work perfectly fine. Once they cool down, you're on the highway, you can take the recirc off, put it on fresh air, then you'll just have lower carbon dioxide going on, and you won't get drowsy and sleeping, and maybe get an accident, or you lose your cognition. It even says you can feel a little lightheaded and stuff, and you might get in a wreck because you got too much carbon dioxide. Be careful about that recirc button. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you can help save your car. Well, actually, the first thing helped you and your car, because if you fall asleep and the car gets wrecked, it's going to do you and the car in. But let's say you're worried about someone stealing your car, using your car when you don't authorize it. Maybe you got teenage kids. This is one of these little pucks. It's magnetic. Stick it anywhere that's metal, right? You can hide it in a fender, whatever. Works pretty good under the hood, though. And just like in those spy movies, they're following a suspect, you can follow them using your phone. This particular one is called Space Hawk GPS, and it works just like your mobile phone. Matter of fact, of course, got a built-in SIM card, so it's like a phone. Now, they're not all that expensive, but you do have to pay a monthly or yearly fee to use it because it's like a phone. It's got a SIM card. It's got to go through cell phone towers. Somebody's got to collect the information, and you're able to retrieve it using your phone. So yeah, you're going to pay, but let's face the facts. What did your car cost? This one's like $55,000. So what if you pay a little monthly fee for security to see where it is? Maybe you think, you know, my wife says she's going to play tennis, but gee, her car's always parked in front of Bob's house on the other side of town for an hour or two, and then she comes back here. She doesn't go play tennis. Or perhaps your husband says he's going fishing. Well, there's no fishing at the local bar, and he seems to have truck parked there all the time, you know? Hey, that's up to you. I'm just giving you information so you can follow things around. I am not responsible for actions that result from usage of these GPS trackers. Now, as you can see, it does all kinds of things. You can see what's happened, what people have gone, every second where the vehicle is. Now, of course, the battery only lasts a certain period of time, unfortunately. Now, it does have a connector, so if you wanted to wire it to the car somewhere, where you got a 5-volt bump off point for power, you could wire it so it was on all the time. It wouldn't drain your battery hardly at all. You could do that. But if you're just going to plug it in, it lasts a certain amount of time. You can make it last longer by doing things like putting it on economy, so it's reporting not all the time, but sometime, maybe once an hour, whatever. You can set it for whatever you want. Look up here, share spot fence. You can put a fence that warns you when it goes outside a certain area. History, playback, it'll drive all over, show you where the people drove. If you want a long-term thing, you can push the energy saver. Look, you can update the location every 30 minutes, once an hour, every 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever you want to. And look, that'll be 10 to 15 days every 30 minutes, but if you go to update it every 24 hours, it'll last 4 to 6 months. And I gotta say, this particular unit has worked flawlessly so far. Now, the main complaint people have is that they have to pay a monthly service fee. But hey, the people that own this company, they gotta pay. They don't run the service towers and stuff. It's just like you paying your monthly service fee for your phone, right? You're paying ultimately the phone company that's paying for the right to use the cell towers and all that stuff. If you want something that actually works, and from my experience of this so far, it really works quite well. Now, the next time my son and his wife take a trip to Singapore, because she's from Singapore, I'm going to have them take this thing with them. I want to see if it tracks the whole way to Singapore. And if it does that, boy, that'd really be something. You know, I haven't tested that out. I've just tested it driving around in vehicles, and it showed perfectly well where the people went. I left it on full-time feed so I could see how long they sat at the Lowe's when they went to buy stuff, where they went, and it shows you the locations, how long they were there. Follow it, and it's just like watching a video. You can fast forward it. I gotta say, pretty interesting device if you're looking for a GPS tracker to see where your vehicle's going, or anything. It's magnetic. I mean, you can put it in a suitcase if you want. It'll just sit there, but it's a very handy device. They've come a long way. I tried some of these things out years ago. They had glitches. They didn't work. They had problems. This particular Space Hawk one, hey, I got to say, it works too good. The only downside is you do have to pay a monthly fee. But then again, look what you paid for your truck. This is 55 grand. Hey, if you're real serious about seeing what's going on with your vehicles, you might want to get a few of these things. Stick it on whatever you want. You're on a business, you want to see what's going on, hey, you'll know. It'll tell you where it is, how long it's there. You know, a guy says, well, you know, I'm having trouble finding parts. It's going to take, there's a big traffic jam. And then you see the truck is parked at Joe's bar and he's in there drinking, right? So, handy little device. Now, the third thing I'm going to show you is how you can get an extra key made for your car, especially got one of these keyless ignition systems, without getting ripped off, right? Autel, the company I use for scan tools, makes keys that you can buy on Amazon for as little as 39 bucks, right? They're universal and they work with all kinds of different vehicles. Now, if there's one thing that pees me off is paying too much for stuff that shouldn't cost as much. People are charging you. Now, I went to get an extra set of keys made for my son's truck so I can move it around when he's not here, right? So I go to a local locksmith. They wanted 250 smackers. Well, right? I got this Autel thing for like 39 bucks online. It's a lot different than 250. Now, of course, it has to be programmed for your car, but that's not a $220 job. This is an Autel programmer. I'm a mechanic, so I have one. Many mechanics have these things, and I'm going to show you how we use them to reprogram them. And in the case of this is an Autel, this is an Autel, these always work. If you go to a lot of locksmiths, especially the dealerships, they'll say, we're not going to program the key you bought on Amazon because it's not a Toyota key. It's not going to work, blah, 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 right? This is an Autel tool. This is an Autel universal remote. Here's how it works to program. You just go in the vehicle and you plug the dongle in the OBD port, just like you were scanning the car. It's a scanner too, but you just plug that in here. You can see it's working, it's green. Now we go down to Toyota. It's a Tacoma, and the year is 2022. Now you can see there are different Tacomas here. They use many different things. So what we have to do is figure out which one we have. Complicated. So here is the original key. We'll put it in here. Reading cloning. Now it's going to read this key. Place transponder and press read. Read. Now it's going to read it. And we can see which one it is. Tyrus DST AES ID8A. Which I'm never going to remember, so I'm taking a picture of it. Put that all back in. Toyota. Okay. Now here's the remotes. So we're looking for the AES ID8A. It's not that one. We're looking for AES IDA. And guess what? It's not there. And here's the universal key we have. It's the same as that, so we'll push this one to the right. And sure, there's only one universal key. Make sure it has a battery in it. And so what we want is to generate a universal key. And the machine is now programmed, the universal Autel, so let's see if it works. Push on the button. Success. It worked. So rather than spending $250 at a locksmith, I spent $39 for this Autel Universal Toyota replacement. Came the next day, reprogrammed with my machine because I'm a mechanic. But let's face the facts. These other guys are ripping you off. Now, you're not a mechanic. You're not going to buy that Autel machine. But it's $440, right? So if you did 2 keys with that $440 machine and you were charging $250, you're paying for the machine doing 2 jobs. And that's just a rip-off. That is ripping off the customer. So find an honest place that will program them, because Autel makes the correct stuff. You can buy it on Amazon. See what kind of vehicle you have, buy the universal remote, and have someone program it for you for a lot less than a $250 charge. Sure, they're selling you the key, but they're marking the key up. You're buying the key for $39, and it works because it's made for whatever vehicle you want. Autel makes them for most vehicles. Now, if you have some oddball vehicle, like a Mercedes or something, that they don't make one for, it's too bad. You were dumb enough to buy a Mercedes, you're going to pay through the nose to get a key made. But you got a normal car, like a Toyota, Ford, Chevy, Honda, whatever. You can get the universal ones, $39 or so. The advantage is, on the modern cars, of course, they don't have keys. There's no key. So you don't have to get the key cut. Now, if you have to get the key cut, you can check locksmiths. From my experience, they're going to charge a bunch, say, oh, they don't want to do that. You bought the key, la, la, la. There's a company called Tom's Keys, and I use them all the time. If I have a customer's one they want a key made, I just go to Tom's Keys. I take a picture of the key front and back. You email them the picture, then they can make you a key and send it to you. And if you don't have a programming machine, they can loan you a programming machine. They put a charge on your credit card, and then when you're done, you mail the machine back to Tom's Keys, and they will return your credit for borrowing their machine to program it. Pretty good idea. Hey, it used to be I sent people to locksmiths all the time to do it, but now these locksmiths, they're starting to charge up the wazoo too. You're better off finding a different way to do it, and I just showed you how you can either do it yourself and have somebody program it, or have the whole thing done at a place like Tom's Keys, where you just take a picture of the key, give them the information, then they send the key to you, and if it needs programming, they'll give you the machine and directions, and you just return them the machine, and you get your deposit back. You don't have to be ripped off by dealerships or locksmiths anymore. So there you have it. 3 things that can save your life, save your car, maybe ruin your marriage if the GPS finds something out you might not want to know, but I can't do anything about that. Or save yourself money getting another key for your car. Hey, we're all in this together, so let's help each other out, saving money, saving time, and saving our lives too. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.